Hi friends, it's Abby from OP, and I'm back to do another craft kit workshop walkthrough with you. It's always a little bit of a mouthful. This week's workshop kit that we're working through is our winter break survival guide. And this one is a ton of fun, like all of them are, but I especially like this one because it gives us a really neat way to care for ourselves over a long period of time during a big time of change, when maybe we have a little bit more time for ourselves and to kind of think about how we're doing and what we're doing. It's going to be really cool. We are making a literal survival guide for ourselves for winter break. Winter break is usually a time, and I know this has been true for me sometimes, and maybe it is for you, when I just have a lot of time on my hands and I'm not always sure what to do with myself. And sometimes being bored and not really knowing how to keep busy can actually be kind of stressful and like the opposite of relaxing. And winter break should be relaxing. That's why it's a break, right? We are going to start the kit by making a physical book that is going to be our survival guide, which is really cool because once you're done with winter break, this is something that you can keep and hold on to for however long you want. It doesn't have to stop once winter break is over. This is a cool tool that you can hold on to for a long period of time and keep on adding into. And this one's pretty minimal in terms of supplies, which is kind of nice. You're gonna need your journal, of course, and you need your gel pens. You should have 4 of them. I have this kind of peachy orange and green and purple and pink, so that's a good color combo. Once you have your supplies set and ready to go, we have to do a little bit of brainstorming to get this thing going. You should have your handy dandy instruction sheet in your kit, and go ahead and pull that out because you're going to need that as well, because it has a list of prompts to help get you started listing out the things that you can use and identify as tools and ideas and snacks and whatever that help you feel warm and cozy and loved, and that kind of like fill your cup a little bit. You know what I mean? Get a scratch piece of paper because we want to be able to write these down so we don't forget them, and we don't want to put them in our journal yet because we want to be able to think of what they are. And get ready to write down some ideas. I will go ahead and list them off here. But you should, again, like I said, have them on your instruction sheet, and you can always find our instruction sheets online on our website as well. The first prompt that I have for you is, what are 2 to 3 things that you like to do when you feel good? Like when you feel really happy, what are a couple things that you just really like to do? Maybe it's dancing, maybe you like to sing along to like a couple songs, maybe you like to cook, do some art, clean. What is it? Talk to a friend? The next one is, what are 2 to 3 things you can do to help yourself feel better when you're sad or anxious? What are the things that you know help pick you up a little bit and help bring a little bit of happy back into your heart? I know for me it's reading, or like a nice cup of coffee or tea, or a really snuggly blanket and like a good movie and my kitty cat. I love all those things. The next one is, what are 2 to 3 tasty snacks or drinks that always make you feel better? What are they? I've talked about this a couple times already, but for me it's always jerky. I love jerky and bubble tea and coffee. I love snacks. Popcorn, chips, fruit. I love a good, like apples and peanut butter. Oh, so good. Think about it for a sec. But then the next one is, what is something that you've been wanting to do that you haven't had a chance to do yet? Maybe there's a video game laying around that you haven't started, or a book, or a show, or maybe you've been wanting to get into painting and you haven't had a chance yet, or test out your Copic markers. Something. What's something that you haven't had a chance to do yet that you kind of want to? The next one is, what is something that you want to do more of? The next one following that is, who are 2 to 3 people, friends, family members, whoever, that you can reach out to when you're having a hard day for support? And if you have it on hand and you can think of it, write down how you can contact them, whether that's a number, an email, a text, whatever. And finally, and this one might be a little bit tricky, so answer if you can, and if you can't, no worries, you can always Google it later. But is there a quote or a message that inspires you, that kind of lifts you up and makes you want to do stuff? So now that you've brainstormed all of those survival tools that you have, all those warm cozies that'll help you through winter break and even a little further, you're gonna go ahead and add them to your journal. Or your survival guide journal. So step 2 is on your first page of your journal, go ahead and write at the top, my survival guide. If you would like to, I did because I think it's neat. You don't have to if you don't want to, but title it so that you know that like, this is the beginning, this is for me, this is my thing. And then once you have your title there, go ahead and decorate your journal, that first page, and add all the info that we brainstormed on there. And you can do it in a list, you could do little doodles and like throw words in there on the side, you could do bullet points, boxes, bubbles, whatever works for you and makes it feel like a good, happy thing. And also something that will make sense for when you come back to it later, because you don't want to make it so confusing that you open it in like a month and you're like, I have no idea what this says. I'll show you what mine looks like and I'll give you kind of a walkthrough of what I did. So I have my survival guide, and you can see I give myself some drawings of some of kind of my fun snacks that I like. I did a list of my people down here. I have a couple things that I want to do right here. This is the stuff that I like to do when I feel good, and this is the stuff I like to do when I feel sad. So I just kind of popcorned them on there a little bit because I like the playful colors and I like the way it looks and I think it's entertaining, and I can always doodle and fill in the cracks, which I'm really excited to do because I like to doodle. Go ahead and take whatever time you need to get that done and make sure that it feels good. The only other thing I want to share is I didn't have a quote, like a specific quote that I wanted to add to my survival guide because I couldn't think of anything in the moment. But I did think of something that me and my friends say to each other a lot, so I put that in. And what it says is, it says in quotes, friendship food pantry. And the reason I put that there is because me and my friends have a saying where our friendship is like a food pantry, in the sense that if somebody ever needs something, there's always an open space where they can come in and they can get what they need, if they're also willing to put extra things in when they have some extra going on. So it's like, if I'm feeling really low and I need some support, I can go to a friend who maybe is in a better place than I am right now. I can say, hey, could use some help. And then if I'm ever in a better place and she's feeling kind of low, she can come to me and say like, hey, I need some food pantry. Can I have some beans? And I'll be like, yes, take my beans. And I just think it's really sweet because it's a good way to remember that your friends are there for you and you're there for your friends. And that's a good sign. So I put that in my survival guide because it's a good reminder. But I hope you find a good quote that inspires you too. But the third and final step for finishing the start of our survival guides is to put a couple of journal prompts and just kind of flip through and like stop here, then maybe stop here, and stop down here. Space them out a little bit so they're not all in one big chunk and you have enough space to write and maybe even add more in between. But I have some here that I would like you to add in your journal, and I hope you think of some that you can add into, because it's really nice to sit down with a cup of tea or water or cocoa and sit and journal a little bit. It's a good way to help process your thoughts, and it's a cool way to kind of just check in with yourself and see how you're doing. Number 1 is, if you were a weather pattern today, what would you be and why? Are you rainy? Are you sunny? Are you rainy with a rainbow? Are you hailing? Is it really foggy? What is it? The second one is, if you were a color today, what color would you be and why? What's happening to make you feel that color? The third one is, how was today on a scale from 1 to 10? And what happened to make you pick whichever number you picked? Why is it a 5 or a 2 or a 3? Number 4 is, what's a happy memory you have? It could be old, it could be new, but what's just a good one? What's a happy memory? And number 5, this one's hard, so maybe you can always come back to this one later, but write 10 things you like about yourself. 10 positive words that describe you. So once you've entered in those prompts, then your survival guide is officially set and ready to go, and you can add it to your kit. So your kit overall is all of the tools that we're giving you to kind of help you get started, and is also a place where you can add cool things. Your journal's gonna go in there, all those cool little knickknacks that we included in your bag, anything that's gonna help you get through different and difficult times. I really hope that you use it, and I hope that your journal brings you some joy, and I hope you have a fantastic winter break. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We have our website. We have a whole calendar of events coming out next term, which starts in January after winter break, so go check it out and sign up for stuff. I'd love to hang out with you. I hope you have a good break, a wonderful holiday if you celebrate, and I'll talk to you soon. Stay safe. Bye.